woke up this morning thinking about the dream of this place, the big one. The one they wrote down with trembling hands and ink that bled through parchment and into history. A republic, a place where liberty lived in the lungs of its people, a land that for all its flaws and failures at least tried to speak the language of freedom out loud. And now I feel like I'm watching that dream wheeze out its last breath on the floor of the Capitol, while men in $1,000 suits step over the body and call it a win. This bill, this one big beautiful bill, it's not beautiful, it's a goddamn obituary. It is the final signal that we have become a nation governed not by the will of the people, but by the whims of oligarchs and the fevers of ideologues who do not believe in democracy, and they've stopped pretending to. They've sold your children's future and pawned your dignity to buy another yacht for a man who already has 5 and will never sell any of them. They've cut food aid while lifting salt deductions by $30,000. A handout for the coastal rich, a middle finger to every family clipping coupons just to survive. The child tax credit is gutted. Affordable health care is dismantled. Student loan relief has vanished. Labor protections are stripped like a copper wire in a hurricane. But hey, the Dow's up, right? How do you call yourself a republic when you take bread from a hungry child so a hedge fund can eat gold? How do you dare whisper the word democracy when you send your people to suffer while billionaires are handed the keys to the kingdom tax-free? Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, Stephen Miller, these aren't the shadows behind the throne. They are the goddamn throne now. They do not believe in consent of the governed. They believe in rule by tech oligarchs, corporate kings, and clever little fascists with soft hands and God complexes. They don't think democracy is inefficient. They think it's a mistake. And they'll say it to your face if you let them. They may spin it as order or as efficiency or long-term vision, but strip away the branding and it's authoritarian rot wrapped in libertarian perfume. We are governed not by leaders, but by cowards. And I don't mean the tired, overused word we throw at politicians who fail to act. I mean small, scared little boys in tailored suits who were never hugged and now take it out on you. They are weak men with strong microphones. They are thugs with soft spines and misplaced daddy issues. They do not think, they receive. Each and every morning they are spoon-fed their outrage and regurgitate it to a crowd that no longer asks why, only who do we blame? And they tell them who to blame: teachers, journalists, poor people, immigrants, the sick, the truth. And meanwhile, this bill gives legal cover to outsourcing of justice itself. Hidden in the shadows of it are the mechanisms to send American citizens to jails beyond the reach of constitutional oversight. Offshore prisons for when your dissent gets too loud or your protest gets too visible. And they'll tell you it's only for violent crimes, but once you crest that hill, the descent into tyranny is steep and it is fast. Suddenly, be careful what you say becomes survival advice. And watch out starts sounding like prophecy. No citizen of the United States should ever fear speaking out against their government, but here we are. And do you feel free today? Do you feel secure in your blessings of liberty? Do you feel like every American, black, white, immigrant, old, queer, struggling, feels the pursuit of happiness is a real and reachable thing? Are you happy? Because the government just raised the debt ceiling by $5 trillion, and that's not to fix roads, that's not to heal the sick, not to feed the hungry or educate the poor, but to make the rich richer. Money they won't spend in 100 lifetimes, money that will never flow back down no matter how many times they lie to you and call it rain. And if you ask why, they will not give you a reason, they will just give you a target. And so here we are. This is not fiscal policy, it is economic violence. It is looting disguised as law. A $5 trillion debt increase to enrich the elite while clawing back the last scraps of dignity from working families is not policy, but it is proof that they believe you are too stupid to notice, too tired to fight, and too afraid to scream. It's an absurdity so grotesque and so naked in its cruelty that it should offend every nerve ending you have. It is a slap across the face of reason. And here we are, the richest country in human history, and they are telling us we cannot afford food for our children while padding yachts and private jets with your future. We are told there is no money for universal health care, but there's always money to bomb another village. There's no funds for schools, but blank checks for war machines and billionaire bailouts. They have passed a bill that helps no one you know, that feeds no one you love, that lifts no one but the already floating. And maybe the great Southern poet Weezer Boudreaux said it best: eat shit and die. because that's all they're offering you now, cold and on a plate with a smile. And you're supposed to say thank you. I don't know what country we are anymore, but I do know what we were capable of, and I weep for it today. Defiance till death.
For no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Okay, on tips. The president has said your tips will be 100% yours. Does this tax bill continue the payroll tax on people's tips?
Yes, it does, Mr.
Overtime. The president said your overtime will be tax-free. Does this bill continue the payroll tax on overtime?
It does not exempt overtime from the payroll tax.
The president has said he's going to remove taxes on Social Security. Does this bill remove taxes on Social Security benefits?
The legislation provides an increased exemption amount.
But does it remove taxes on Social Security benefits as promised by the president?
It does not change Social.
And it says that in the calendar year 2027, someone that's making less than $15,000 will see an increase in federal taxes by 18.7%. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Gomez, and that's a consequence of loss of premium tax credits, health care.
Okay, so, and then in calendar year 2020, anybody making less than $15,000 sees an increase of 53.5%. Anybody who's making $15,000 to $30,000 sees an increase by 11.7%. Is that correct?
Yeah, what calendar year are we in, Mr. Gomez?
2029. It's the next page.
2029. Yes.
And then we see the next page in 2031. Anyone making less than $15,000 sees that. Check this out. I thought 74.3%.
But what I want people to know is, gloves are off. Let's go. Enough. We're going to stand up. Truth. We're going to stand up for American people. We're going to stand up for people that are being bullied. We're going to have the backs of people that are scared. We're going to use our formal authority. I'm proud to be governor of the largest state in America. Again, I've said this before to you, 21 state populations combined. But we're also going to use our moral authority. And the extent we need to, we're also going to call out the bullshit and the propaganda and the weaponization of lies and mis and disinformation on networks like Fox. And we'll do it in every capacity. On behalf of the people I represent in the state, in an individual capacity, enough. It's time to assert ourselves much more forcefully, with character and conviction, and have the backs of people that don't have the voice that some of us have and the ability to do what some of us can do. And that's what this whole case is about. And we'll continue to stand tall, and we'll continue to power through this remarkable moment.
This is one of the saddest days in modern American history. 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance. Small business owners are going to have their healthcare costs skyrocket, and people are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. They're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
So, happy 4th of July? Okay. So, quite a delay there. I guess you guys can hear me okay. After seeing all that, happy 4th of July. I hope you all have a happy 4th of July, regardless of all this bullshit. And like someone said in the chat there, we are facing a mad king. Let's make this No King's Day. We say no to kings. And let's celebrate with every firework that goes off tonight. Our commitment to standing up to this fascist pig who's in the White House. All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for coming. No, thanks for being here. It is 11:55 a.m. Pacific time zone. I started late. I was trying to just wait for Hal Sparks to finish up, and he went really long today, so that's the way it goes. But it is already 98 degrees. It says we're only going to get a high of 101, which is a little bit lower than the average temperature for this time of year, a couple of degrees. So that's good. I see Damon Dog was first in the old driver's lounge, and Stephanie B2 was second, followed by Doug G. AM is here. Stephanie B2 says, ugh, I just got an email about a protest going on in my city today. Horrible notice. We would have attended. Now it's almost finished. Oh, so they were a little late on that notice. Yeah, that sucks. So MJ Daniels here from Washington State says, good morning. We are making Mexican for the 4th tonight. Very American dish. And to honor dear leader President Taco. There you go. That's how you do it. Jolie's here. Hey, Jolie, good to see you. Thanks for being here and helping out. Jolie says that Damon Dog, you get the trophy for first. There you go. William's here. Hey, William, good to see you. Says, hey, Trucker John and everybody else. Hello, William. Thanks for coming in. Carrie C is here. Sandy Foltz is here. Happy 4th of July. Sandy Foltz says, and right back at you, Sandy. Happy 4th. Hope you have a great 4th. Hope you can find some community events going on and have a good time today. Pam J is here. It says, you got that right, Doug G. Hey there, Lounge Act. How are you all today? All us loungers. Hey, One Vision's here. Happy 4th of July, now known as No Freedom Day. I kind of like the idea of No King's Day, No King Day, something like that. MJ Daniels says American voters need to adult the fuck up. Things should never have gone this far. I know, man. My head explodes when I keep thinking about, we should not be in this place that we are now. It was bad enough that he got fucking elected in 2016. For people to go and actually vote for this fucking moron, fucking fascist piece of shit for a second time is just mind-boggling. Hey, Nick Rich is here, 56 Nick Rich, like number 22, 1151 in Vegas. So I'm only 7 minutes behind, Nick. I'm only 7 minutes behind you. Thanks for being here. We got 33 watching, only 29 thumbs ups. Hit that thumbs up button. We are operating at a thumbs up deficit. Let's at least balance the books here. Now we got 46 watching and 31 thumbs ups. So thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up for me. Adolf Hitler, formal divorce from monarchs and authoritarianism. The beginning of the American Republic. Honor the resistance of the founding fathers. And then it goes on to say July 4th equal no King's Day. Absolutely. Absolutely. And MJ Daniel says we are still fighting the Mad King. A Mad King. Yep. Let's fight them at every turn, every way we can. Resist, resist, resist. That's all I got to say about that. Carrie C's here. MJ Daniel, we need to challenge every church in the U.S. to prove they are really Christian and stand up to this insanity or shut the fuck up. Unless they're not a Christian church. I mean, there are churches that aren't Christian churches. But maybe every Christian church prove they're Christian. Hey, Pam J, $10 super sticker. Thank you, or super chat. Thank you so much, Pam J. Yippee! Yippee! I said I would shout it. Yippee! I don't want to shout too loud, and the neighbors might call the police or something. I don't know. But Pam J, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I do appreciate you. AM says happy 4th. Yeah, really, right? Right? Am I right? At this point, it's a bit of it's almost like sarcasm to say happy 4th of July. Pam J says, my dog is celebrating every firework that goes off. That's for sure. Oh, I know. The poor puppies, the poor pups. They don't like it. MJ Daniel says, just remember when I could buy real firecrackers for the 4th, even though I was still in grade school. Safe and sane, MJ. Damon Dog is saying sup to everybody. Marie Jane Greco with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Marie. Yippee to Marie for that. It says heartbroken 4th of July. Yeah. It's a very bittersweet. It is very bittersweet to a lot of us, right? Because, you know, we've had this tradition of 4th of July. It's always been a day of you know, patriotism and celebrating our independence from England, from monarchs and all that shit. And now we have a fucking wannabe monarch in the White House right now, who is really in about, you know, 5-6 months has just already fucked the country all over. And we can see, you know, this trajectory is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, you know. And our only hope is to just band together, stick together, fight, resist, and vote. Aaron's here. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for coming on over. Thanks for being here. Do appreciate it. Now we are at full mod capacity, by the way, so you better watch yourselves in that chat room. You hear? You hear? Damon Dog says, hi, Aaron. Happy Independence Remembrance Day. Yeah. The day we remember we had independence. But now it's gone. Dash said, should that flag be upside down? Really, yeah. International sign of distress, I believe it is. Mr. Babdul, I can't hear you. Do you do your sunrise yoga? I do not. Maybe I should, though. But that would mean it's not only the yoga part, but that means I'd have to get up at sunset. Or sunrise. Oh, sunset. Sunrise? I'm all confused. Yeah. That means I would have to get up at sunrise. At sunset, I'm usually up. I'm usually already up at sunset. But sunrise, that means I'd have to get up at sunrise, and I'm usually sleeping. I'm asleep at sunrise time. Aaron West with a $5 super chat holiday pay, she says. Well, thank you. I should be giving you holiday pay. Aaron West, thank you so much. Yippee, Aaron. We are 3/5 of the way to the goal already, so you guys are awesome. Dash says Happy Independence Day. Let's hope we can stay that way. Let's hope we can stay independent of fascists and totalitarians, authoritarians. David Dog says Dash is mine is. I even made an upside down flag watch face for my Apple Watch. If I had those type of skills, I would do that too, probably. I mean, I probably could, but it's just too late now. It's too late. Maybe when after the show, I'll go in and edit. I can edit my screen save, or at least the thumbnail, and maybe I will make that flag upside down. I don't think I can. I'm not going to do it right now. If I try to do that now, I'll probably hit the end button, and then the show will be over or something. MJ Daniel, people are finding out. I just saw a tweet Texas Paul had on his Facebook. A MAGA woman, diabetic, and now only realizing how bad she fucked up. It's so reminiscent of COVID, right? People were on their deathbeds. They were past the point of saving at this point, and then they were begging for the vaccine. And it's like, sorry, it's too late. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. And now people are getting thrown off their health care and their Medicaid, and they could very well die. And whether or not it's too late, it depends on how far gone they are in their health. Whether we can get this thing turned around, we still have some time here, maybe with 2026 elections, midterm congressional elections coming up. But still, it reminds me of that. Mr. Babdul, Joy Chestnut 1. Good for him. And he's a little fucker. I mean, he's not like a big, huge guy. He's pretty. I've seen pictures. So I think he's kind of a little dude, and he packs away those hot dogs, man. I don't know how he does it. Mr. Babdul, Olive Garden ruined my grilled chicken meal. Damn it. Damn Olive Garden. Vicky says it feels like in Victorville, where I grew up, people, Fucking crazy kids. Sandy Fold says, I made hot dogs, potato salad, crab meat, mac, ironically, salad, and 3-bean salad. Not sure what the ironic part is. It sounds delicious. Sounds delish. AJ says, being a proud and patriotic American, I will not listen to the stupid "Proud to be an American" song. Actually, I kind of like that song, but you know what I mean? I always liked that song until Trump had to fucking ruin it, just like he's ruining our country. I mean, that was a good song because they always played it, even way before Trump. They would play it usually at all the 4th of July festivities, and I had no problem with that song, really. I don't think that I can think of. But now, yeah, Trump has fucking ruined it. He's up and fucking ruined it, man. I'm taking that song back. I'm taking it back. Let's take it back. Roxanne Epstein's here. Howdy, TJ and fellow truckers. Hello, Roxanne Epstein. I don't know how many fellow truckers are in here, but definitely trucklers and loungers. I like loungers because we're just lounging around. Mr. Bob Newell, why is Trump a douchebag? Well, you would have to ask Trump that. Why? We should ask that. I would love to have a press pass and be able to ask Trump some questions. Like, why are you such a fucking douchebag? I would lose my press pass immediately, though. Damon Dog, of the way, yeah. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Big Dog. Damon Dog, the big dog. William says, my roommate watches Fox News constantly. I think there is no hope for him. Sadly, some folks are past reasoning, if that's a way to put it. Some people, yeah, you know, all you can do maybe if you're, you know, what is it, your roommates, you gotta interact with the guy. Maybe you could plant some seeds here and there, just, you know, but don't expect, just have really low expectations of ever hoping that that person will ever come around to being more reasonable, I guess. Mr. Bonul, Mitch says get over it. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's the Republican Party in a nutshell. No, they'll get over it. You know, we all die anyhow. You know, so why bother with healthcare? You know, everyone's going to die anyhow. And then, you know, Mitch is like, yeah, they'll get over it. Fuck you, Mitch. You old fuck. Yeah, Nick Rich is like, yeah, we're all gonna die according to Attorney Ernst, which is true. We are all going to die. You know, but we would all like to have a nice long life and live as healthy as we can for as long as we can. That'd be nice, right? That'd be nice if we could all live a nice, long, healthy life. And then when we need the health care, we could get the health care that we need. That'd be just a nice thing that a civilized Western society would and should and can do. And sadly, it seems like most of them do. We're one of the only ones of these so-called advanced industrialized societies that doesn't have a national health care for, you know, like a Medicare for all or you know, for everyone. And all we have to do is look right up to Canada, you know, and see how it's going there. And our Canadian friends here in the chat, I think most of you guys like your healthcare system. I know sometimes people say, oh, you got to wait a long time for a procedure or whatever. No system is perfect. I'll grant you that. No system is perfect, but certainly better. What Canada has is certainly better than what we're now going to go back to, which is people not being able to afford health care. And if they get sick, they're good. Then it's like, yeah, they just go and die quickly, as what was Alan what's his face said that the Republicans are all about. It's sickening. It's that is really sickening. And to think that the GOP, like Joni Ernst and Mitch McConnell, thinks that they can just say that out loud without any repercussions. That's another thing. They can actually say this shit, and then Joni Ernst comes out with this so-called apology, which really wasn't an apology. It was just another chance for her to be snarky and bitchy and cunty. When she's like, oh, you know, she started making a mockery of her apology or whatever. And to think that they think they can get away with this shit. That's how bad things are. They think they can actually get away with saying stuff like, oh, they'll get over it. And, you know, oh, fuck you, Mitch. Fuck you, Joni. No, you guys are going to get your asses kicked in 2026 and 2028. You're going to get your asses handed to you. I hope so. At least I hope so, anyhow. Dash is here. Dash says those liberal tears will become their tears too. We are all in this big bullshit bill. Yeah, and I think it's going to hurt probably the red states more than the blue states, because the blue states make all the money. And the red states are the taker states. They take all the money. And if blue states like California and New York say, fuck you, we're not going to hand over our money to you guys anymore, red states are going to be fucked. And they're going to be fucked as it is anyhow. Even just the way this bill is coming down, it's going to hit them the hardest. Damon Dog says you can make any photo a watch face. I just learned this morning. Easy peasy. Tomorrow I'll go back to Mickey Mouse. Ruben Michaels, emergency rooms will be full to capacity. Yeah, it's just going to put a total strain on our hospital system. People who don't have health care, they either wait or just happens, you know, where they are so sick and ill they pass out somewhere, and then they get transported to ER, and they get patched up just enough to be released, and then but without any type of further care, and then it just repeats the cycle. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be pretty bad. MJ Daniel, time to do something. Running out fast. Time is running out fast. Yeah, we can't dilly-dally. We cannot dilly-dally. That's for sure. Gin Up the Base is here, our donut snob. Just kidding. Gin Up the Base says, have a 4th of July, everybody. Good to see you all. Yeah, we're just gonna have it. It might not be happy, but we're having it. We're gonna have it because it's here and we can't stop it. Pam J says, an old friend that moved to Oklahoma from California says she's going to die because of no Medicaid. She can't afford her meds. Probably should move back to California then, because I bet you they're going to have Medicaid. I bet you Gavin Newsom and our future governor, Harris, or whoever, is going to make goddamn sure that California has Medicaid. I bet you. People like to shit talk California, don't they? I'm not talking about your friend so much, but in general, people shit talk the fuck out of California. But by God, California is going to probably be in one of the best positions of any state in the country. I mean, they might fall from the 4th largest economy to the, I don't know, 6th largest or something, but in the things that are going to go down. I keep looking because people are walking by outside. But I don't know. Brooklyn says, yum. I went to the gym, then went to diner. So good. All right, good. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here, and I'm glad you're having a good day. Got a little workout in. Went to the diner. Had some diner grub. Nick Rich, just me. Carrie C I see down is buffering. Okay, I haven't really noticed any buffering on my end. Hopefully, it's not. Brooklyn says buffering. Now, I am behind in the chat, so maybe it's cleared up since then. I know I'm several minutes behind. Ruben Michaels is here. Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today in the old driver's lounge. Dash tuxedo noodle salad. What is tuxedo noodle? It's not bow tie noodle, is it? Vicky says it always sounded like propaganda to me. Oh, are we talking about Proud to Be an American or whatever that song is? The Lee Greenwood song? Yeah, I know, but I liked it. I thought it was appropriate for 4th of July and such. So I don't mind getting all patriotic and root for the old red, white, and blue, But I think Trump has ruined it. Janet Basis, Trucker John, hi, TJ. Good to see you. Thanks for being here today, TJ. Well, you're welcome. I might do some video if I'm in a good spot tonight to because I'm going to be driving a taxi, but I might take a break or something. And when the fireworks starts, I think last year I may have live streamed it. Do you guys remember? Does Jolie or anybody? Do you guys remember? Did I live stream? I might have live streamed it last year. I think I did. It's funny, the time goes by so fast, and then I can't remember if I did it or not. I may have, and I may do that again this year if I'm in a good spot and can maybe just show a little bit of the fireworks going off. Because here on the strip, they do a really good show. Really good show. So anyhow, look for that. If you guys aren't doing anything, and you have your whatever device you have on, if I pop on, I guess it'll be around. I think it's around 9 o'clock Pacific time when they do it. So if you're back east, it's gonna be about midnight. If you guys, just something to think about. Roxanne Epstein says, "Okay, I'm a lounger." No, you could be a trucker or truckler, But Michelle, why are you making it harder on working class? That's what I would ask. Oh, yeah. The other day I had a question. I thought, besides just like why you're a douchebag, I know that wouldn't be that's not a good question. But I had an actual legitimate question, and I can't remember what it was now. Vicky Distract said roommate. MJ Daniel, let them eat cake. How did that work out? Right. Brooklyn, Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA. Although born in the USA is actually not really real favorable. You know what I mean? I mean, it's about like jobs being lost, about guys coming back from Vietnam, not the same, being like fucked up from the war, the economy going down and jobs being lost or jobs being outsourced and stuff like that. That's really like what the song's about. That and kind of that whole, a lot of that theming in that album is like that. Like kind of like My Hometown and stuff like that. Anyhow, yeah, Mitch McConnell, the only reason I hope there's a hell is so that assholes like Mitch McConnell can just go there and burn for all of eternity. Michelle, where are the Epstein files? Yeah, they sure don't want to bring that up, do they? Yeah, Jim the Base says, Brooklyn, the words to Born in USA are anything but positive about America. It's really, yeah, it's like I was saying, it brings up a lot of the sort of the warts, if you will. But I don't think it's anti-America. I don't think Bruce is anti-America or anything like that. I think he's just honest about what he has seen and experienced and felt. But I think at the end of the day, Bruce Springsteen is still a patriotic American, just like me. MJ Daniel says the disgusting bill is the Republican wet dream. It just took a president as corrupt and stupid as King Taco to make it possible. Even Bush was not this bad. Oh, yeah. Trump is making Bush look like freaking, FDR or something at this point. Vicky, a penny in his pocket sends his head straight up his ass. I'm not sure what that means or how that works. Genevieve County is a great adjective. Yes. Richard, I was born on the 3rd of July, 1947. Hey, Richard, I believe from Australia, or you're from America, but I think you're coming at us from Australia, I believe, right? So thanks for being with us today. Surfer Norm's here. Hey, Surfer Norm, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Surfer Norm says, hello, everybody. Hi, Trucker John. Was there a lot of damage from the windstorm in Las Vegas? Well, there was in certain areas, like not too far from here. That day that I shot that video, if you guys saw it, of how windy it was here. And we got some storm action. When I came inside, the electricity did flicker on and off for just like a second. And because at first I thought, oh shit, we're going to lose the power. But it just kind of flickered. And that was probably, I don't know if you guys saw it on the news or anything like that, but just down, not too far from here. I guess it was I'm just off Flamingo. I think it was Tropicana, which is another mile over, and then down to Eastern. So probably a mile over that way, and then about 2 or 3 miles to the east. That's where there was some really heavy damage. That actually some power lines got knocked over, and I bet you that was when I saw the flicker. I bet you that was from that, because it apparently knocked out power to like 36,000 people. And fortunately, I was not one of them. But their power was out, I think, for a couple days, or they were just getting it back. I mean, some sooner. I guess it comes back in little grids or whatever, but or little sections at a time. But there were still a lot of people that had power out as of yesterday. But I think they got it all back on by yesterday at some point. So that means for like what, a couple days, 2 or 3 days, a lot of people were without AC, and it's hot here. Fortunately, it's been a little bit cooler. We had some days where it was under 100 degrees for our high, and we had the storms coming in and the clouds, and we got some rain. So it was a little bit cooler. So that's a little bit of a blessing there for those folks, but still, it's still 90 or 98 degrees, with no AC. So in these apartments, it's hard to get a cross draft or a breeze. So anyhow, I was lucky. My power never went out, but just not too far from here, 36,000 people lost their power for anywhere from probably 12 hours to 48 hours, maybe, or maybe even longer. I don't know, but I know they were working on those poles, those power lines and stuff. That's what I was driving through. I think I had a video. I never did post it, did I? Or did I post it? No, I didn't post it. There was a video I had of around one of these areas where the poles went down, and it kind of has a thing in the middle where it's flexible, and the guy tried to make a U-turn to go around this detour that they had because of the power lines being down, and he couldn't make the turn, and he got stuck. And there was just enough room on the back side where cars could go around. I was able to go around him, and that. Anyhow, where was I at? But yeah, there was some damage. Yeah, some power lines went down and knocked out power. That was most of it, but they got that fixed up. Nick Rich says, I've got 2 medical appointments this month free of charge and set up by their system a month ago. See, that's Nick Rich from Canada, Canadian healthcare system. Bam. Bam. A bam, a boom. Hey, Rose Blues here. Hey, Rose, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today in the old driver's lounge. Rose says, Trucker John, I can't get into my Lyft app. It won't take my email. I don't know how to fix it. Do I change my password or create a new email? Thank you. I do not. I'm not a Lyft customer service rep. I mean, I can't get into my Lyft without my email. There's got to be a in the settings, or there's got to be a place where you can contact them through email or to help you out. I'm just trying to think. Like, I know when I go on I haven't gone on the app in a while, since probably February. That's the last time I drove for Lyft, was back in February. But I don't know. There's got to be a way where you can go in and either go through settings, make sure settings are right, or change, or there's a way to contact them either through a message. There's probably no phone number. They usually don't have one, but there's got to be a way that you can ask them some questions on there. Oh, is it Richard's birthday? Did I skip that? Oh, on the 3rd of July. Oh yeah. I just totally skipped over that, didn't I? So you were born yet. Your birthday was yesterday. So happy belated birthday, Richard. I just totally went right over that. I just started talking about being from that you're coming to us from Australia. But yeah, happy birthday, Richard. Non-useful says it takes only one generation for the knuckle draggers, I guess, to forget what the Republicans did. I'm not sure where you're going. I'm not sure where you're going on that. David Dog Jen, I was just thinking about that cunty. I need to incorporate that into my lexicon. Ruben Michaels says here, hey Ruben, good to see you. Says we went to a minor league baseball game in Corvallis, Oregon last night. Fantastic fireworks after the game. All the lights were turned off. It was in-your-face fireworks. Happy 4th. Yeah, the 4th of July fireworks shows can be fun and patriotic and all that. And I have nothing against being patriotic. You know, I think we Democrats need to show our patriotism even more so than these fucking maggots and Republicans who seem to think that they're the only ones that love America. Well, fuck you. We love America even more because you know why? We love the Constitution, and you don't, motherfuckers. MJ Daniel says, dumb fuckers in Republican states will get it worse, and nobody is to blame but themselves. But you know what? But that's how stupid they are. Sandy Folt says, TJ, I had sent you your lunch to your email. I hope you enjoy it. Check your email. I didn't see anything. I didn't see my lunch in there. I've been checking my email. Did you just do it just now? I mean, if you did it during the show, I haven't checked it. How do you send lunch in email? Do I just add water later? I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'll check my email right now. Let's see. I'm going to check it right now. Did Sandy send me a lunch? Let's see. I'm not seeing it, Sandy. For some odd reason, I don't see it. I do not see it, Sandy. I'll check later. I'll check more thoroughly. I guess later. Well, thank you, Sandy. Pam J says that's what I thought too, John. She should move back to California. Yeah, people move out of California. They shit talk California. They move to Florida or Oklahoma or Texas. They might be in for a rude awakening. Pam J says senators need to be per population, not state. The way it's set up is so unfair. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about that. Like, you know, there are states that have their entire state has like less than 1 million people, and they get 2 senators. And then you have California that has, I think, over 40 million people, and they get 2 senators. So that's why I was thinking if I ever ran for Senate, I might have a better shot if I moved to South Dakota or freaking Delaware or Montana or Wyoming. I mean, look at Dick Cheney. He was from Wyoming, right? Wyoming, there are less people in Wyoming than certainly than the San Fernando Valley in California, which is where I was born. There's like 3 or 4 million people just in the San Fernando Valley, I think. And Wyoming, the whole state, I don't even think they have over 1 million people. And then what spawns out of there are fucking assholes like Dick Cheney, who was horrible. And yet he went on to wield really like presidential power. He was a VP, and many say, that he was actually the president because W was such a fucking moron. And he came out of Wyoming, MJ Daniels says states like California and here in Washington need to withhold federal tax revenue and use that to pay for what Republicans are taking away. People are talking about that. People have been saying that. I'm all for it. I don't know I don't know the legalities or the, how that works, if they can do that. Then I'm for it. Even though I guess I live in I guess I would say this is definitely, I think, purple state, because fucking Trump supposedly won this state, unless there was some cheating going on. But we do have a fucking Republican governor who's an asshole. But on the federal level, our senators are both Democrats. I think we only have 5 districts for the House, U.S. House districts, and we have 4 out of the 5 are Democrats. But we still are pretty purple. There's still a lot of assholes in this state. Obviously, if they're fucking Trump won it, like I said, unless there was some kind of something hanky going on there, and we lost, in not this election, but the one before that, we had a Democratic governor, and he lost to the guy, he's been in there for a few years now. So I don't know where I was going with all that. Oh, about the withholding. And yeah, we're a small state with published ones. You're talking about big states like California, Washington, Oregon, maybe New York, Illinois. Those type of states could possibly withhold their federal tax revenue. I don't know if they can. I don't know legally, And I know that you say, well, okay, fuck the law, and I guess they would be challenged in court. There'd probably be a court challenge or something. I don't know. Anyhow, Dash says maple whirlybirds, okay, and salads, and sassafras root tea is great as some sort of thinner, bold thinner? I don't know. But needs a lot of sugar and bad for diabetes. That's good to know. In case you have diabetes, you probably should know that. Dash bow tie. Okay. So I guess that was what that was. Aaron says one more super chat to make the goal. We can do it. We can do it. Hey, One Vision's here. One Vision, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. One Vision says it took less than 12 hours after the bill passed for a rural hospital to close in Nebraska, foreshadowing the dead people coming. Wow. Really? Are we sure that was because of the bill, or was this something that was already in the works? Because that seems kind of, I don't know how that bill, which really hasn't even been signed yet. I think he's signing it today, or maybe he already signed it today into law. So I would suspect that hospital was closing before, or was already in the works. That's what I would submit. That's what I would think. But I do agree with the foreshadowing of things to come part of it. Sandy Foltz, TJ, I like your background. Thank you, Sandy. Finally, I get some positive feedback from someone in the lounge here. David Dog says every year the next door app notifications, is that fireworks or is someone shooting guns? Really? That's funny. I don't have a Nextdoor app, so now that I think about it. Nick Rich, 20 past the hour, so now I am 20 minutes behind. I was 7 minutes behind, now I'm 20 minutes behind. Sunny Foltz, I've been cooking all afternoon. Brooklyn says, TJ, is it busy for you on July 4th? Well, I've done the past couple years as a ride share doing Uber, and it was just the same as any other day, I guess. It wasn't any more or less busy. And this year, 4th of July is a Friday, so it's going to be busy just because it's Friday. Although I will say that tourism has been down, noticeably down, but it's still going to, even though it's down, it's still busy. So, but it'll be busy. I'm sure. I'm going to go. I'm going to start early today, get an early start, and I'm sure it'll be busy. But it's normally busy on Fridays, and 4th of July seems to be like no more busy than whatever it usually is. But I imagine that today is probably going to be really busy because it's both 4th of July and Friday. Surfer Norm says, I'm for everybody coming to California, but the expenses are pretty high, especially rent and utilities. Sugar John, didn't you try to show the casino demo, or was that a different date? As far as California, California is expensive if you want to live near the beach or near the San Francisco Bay Area is out of touch for most of us. All the really cool parts are very expensive. But that's why I lived in the desert my entire life, because it's cheap. You can live in the desert for very cheap. So if you don't mind living in a hot, windy, dusty, arid place, you can live there for cheap. If you want to live 2 blocks from the beach in Santa Monica or whatever, then you're going to be, that's going to be millions and millions of dollars, or rents are going to be really high. But there are places that you can find that are very affordable. And it's not all just like in the desert. There's probably other places that are reasonable. The further you get away from the coast, usually, or from the big city centers like LA and San Francisco, you can find reasonably priced properties for rent or for purchase. I mean, reasonable, so I think that gets kind of overblown. It's just, it's just like if you want to live in Chicago proper, it's probably more expensive than living out in the suburbs. If you want to live in Manhattan, and that's probably way out of touch for most people, but you could probably find places in the boroughs out in Brooklyn or something that are more reasonable. So, I think that's been sort of overblown. But and then Trucker John says, did you try to show the casino demo? Are you talking about the Tropicana? I did a live stream. That was back last October. Is that what you're talking about? When they brought down the Tropicana? I was there. I did a live stream, and you can watch it. It's in my playlist somewhere. Probably the Las Vegas playlist. But that was last October, if that's the one you're talking about. Damon Dog says, I watched the fireworks at the party Diane Russell was playing. I was watching a little bit of that, but then I think I was going to work. I just saw where the band was playing, and it wasn't Diane. It was somebody else playing like Cat Stevens songs and stuff. And then they put the camera on the lake. It was very nice. It looked like a very nice day over there. Brandon Woods is here. Cake? Where? I don't know. Who's got cake? Cake? Who's got cake? William, rest in peace, Michael Madsen. I brought that up yesterday. Yeah, Michael Madsen passed away at age 67. I never did read any more about the cause of death or anything like that, but way too young to go. And I don't know if Michael Madsen was a cool dude or an asshole in real life. I don't really care. I mean, unless it was really something egregious. But I mean, as far as in the movies he did, I thought he was a cool dude, and I enjoyed his work. Dash says cheaper worker with no benefits or factory protection to an oligarch factory worker. I'm not sure where we got that from. Non-useless says, rest in peace, America. Staying with the positivity there. Rose Blue 45 ruined Lee Greenwood's song for me. Yeah, I mean, I that's what I was saying. Although, I still kind of like it. But yeah, he did ruin it. That's why I said we're gonna take it back. Take it back. Rose Blue says, hell will have a special place for a section for ICE agents. Hugger Greeter's here. Hey, Hugger Greeter. Is this TAK? Is this Teresa? By the way. Oh, hello, Hugger Greeter TK. Good to see you. I must be really behind because you guys are just now talking about Mitch McConnell, and that was a long time ago that I was talking about that. So I'm behind. Oh, there's Teresa TAK. Hello, Teresa TAK. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Christina Weibel's here. Hey, Christina. Good to see you. Everyone is saying hello to Teresa, so I'm going to skip down a little bit here. Dash says, more power grab than any of the other elected presidents was Jackson this way. Andrew Jackson? I don't know. Fuck, how old do you think I am? I've heard bad things about Jackson plan caused a depression too. Vicky says, Sugar John, are you familiar with Jesse Wells? That boy can write. Jesse Wells. No, I'm not familiar with Jesse Wells. The Soulcraft, Un-American. Hey, the Soulcraft's here. Soulcraft. Soulcraft says, Un-American is Trump and MAGA. Hey, we don't know, Aaron. I took that as funny sarcasm. Brooklyn SJU says, I have to wait 2 months to see a neurologist. Dash says, what is this about Elon, new party, the American Party? Oh, hey, let him go for it. Let him do it. Let him fight. Let him, because all that's going to do is take Republican voters away. I don't think there's going to be very many Democrats rushing over to it. I mean, I think we're pretty much done with Elon Musk, and we don't like him. We see him as the Nazi that he is. So, hey, let him do that. Let him primary all those Republicans, all he wants. Fight, like a big bag of rats, as far as I'm concerned. We just made the goal. Looks like it was Jolie. I'll get down there. I'll give. Well, here we go. Jolie, go. Happy No King's Day, everyone. Okay. Yippee, Jolie. Thank you so much. We made the goal. 5 out of 5. Happy 4th of July. Regardless, we're gonna let's not let them let them win. Don't let the bastards win. Don't let them take away our joy. This might be the last 4th of July that we can actually celebrate. So let's do it. Let's do it in style. Are we going to make it to 250? I guess next year will be the 250th year since our Declaration of Independence. So let's go out with a bang. I don't know. Okay, I'm just kind of skipping down a little bit here. Dash says Elon mentioned a new party if the bill was signed. Awful bill party. Elon Musk can say whatever he wants. The proof will be in the pudding, I guess. Brooklyn, is there any more furniture falling from the sky? No, but one of the maids, I wanted to borrow, she had her little maid cart out on the sidewalk, and it had a vacuum cleaner on it, and I don't have a vacuum cleaner, and I desperately want to vacuum my rug, and I didn't want to just take it off the cart, so I thought I would ask, but she was, I think, upstairs. I asked one of the other maintenance guys that was walking around, and he was picking up the dog poop. He apparently doesn't speak any English. Then I saw one of the gals from the front desk. She walked by, and I just said, hey, can I borrow your vacuum cleaner for like 2 minutes? And then she said, let me go ask. So she went upstairs because I guess the gal who was doing the cleaning, because they clean out, they don't do like a maid service while you live here, but they do it, I guess, for move outs, between the move outs or whatever, or between, whatever, customers. And then she never, I mean, it was like 20 or 30 minutes. And then when I saw her come back downstairs, and then she never told me anything. And then the maid or the, I don't know, cleaning lady, she didn't come down for another half hour, 45 minutes after that. And that's when I was starting to show up by then. And then I did see her take her cleaning cart and wheel on down that way. But I was already starting the show, so I was really kind of pissed off because I literally could have just taken the vacuum cleaner off of her cart, came in here, plugged in, vacuumed my rug for like 2 minutes, and put it back in the cart, and she would have probably never even known but I just didn't feel it was kosher for me to just take her vacuum cleaner off her cart without asking. And so there you go. Now I still have a dirty rug. And I've been, and the reason I haven't bought a vacuum is I have a perfectly good one in storage back in California. So I hate to buy something when I already have something, but I haven't been able to get my stuff moved over from there to here. But now I'm thinking I should have just bought a vacuum cleaner at this point, because I've been off the road and living in apartments here for over 2 years now, and anyhow, that's the story of the vacuum cleaner saga, or saga. No, saga. I think I'm gonna go with saga. Dick Rich 1230. I'm 22 minutes behind, guys. I'm really behind in the chat. So let's see here. Christina Weibel, 3:30 in Florida. I'm just going to go ahead and skip down a little bit here. Aaron West, I'm headed out to dinner at my boyfriend's parents' house. Have a great 4th. You have a great time, Aaron. I know you're gone already. Sorry I didn't see this earlier, but have a great day. And you guys who, I know today's 4th of July, we're getting into dinner time and barbecue time and shooting off fireworks in the backyard with the kids time. And for some of you, almost getting ready to pack the car up and maybe go to your fireworks show down at the fairgrounds or wherever at the county park. So I understand. If you need to go have a great day and enjoy 4th of July. Don't let the maggots, don't let Trump deny you of your right of having a good time, especially on this day, which is considered like the birth of our country, the birth of democracy, the shot heard around the world. It started this all around the world. It was started right here in America, the good old U.S. of A. Don't let fucking maggots take that away from you. So go out and have a good time. Creamy Does It says the media should keep pounding into people's heads that Trump is a Russian asset. And the only one in the media that's going to do that is people like me, or Hal Sparks, or Stephanie Miller, or I guess a Tom Hartman, or whatever. The fucking, mainstream media, they're not going to do it. So we got to do that here. Midas Touch, Boston Brian, all those guys, Texas Paul, Dallas Doo. No, I don't know. I'm just making up names now. Dallas does it. No. So yeah, we just he is a Russian asset. I think he's definitely been a Russian stooge, at least for decades, and is beholden to Putin. And check your spam. I did check the spam, but I didn't go down real far in it. That's why I said I'll check more thoroughly later on that. Um, I'm just skipping down. Alvin Stube is here. Happy 4th of July to Alvin. And Music says, Surfer Norm, multiple researchers have pointed out that if every eligible vote had turned out in 2024, Trump would still have won. Really? I find that hard to believe. But I'm not saying you're not right, Music. I just find it hard to believe. I guess I just don't want to believe that. You know? One Vision says, Trucker John, look it up. They directly said they are closing because the bill will kill them financially. Okay. But it seemed like they, I don't know. It seems like maybe they're using that as an excuse. Maybe they wanted to close. Because I don't think they had to close before the bill was even signed. And then blame it on the bill. Just something seems fishy to me about that. Soulcraft says that there's a great song called 4th of July by Soundgarden. I always play on this day. So that's one I don't know if I've heard that. I remember listening to a lot of Soundgarden. That might be a good alternative, or at least one to add to your 4th of July playlist. I'm just skipping down. I might be skipping some of your some of your posts, guys. But when I get to be 20, 30 minutes behind, I kind of, want to skip along a little bit, because then I'll read stuff then I'm like, what was that about? I don't remember what that was about. Surfer Norm says at Music, I consider that information merely speculation. 93 million people, or eligible voters, didn't go to the polls, and way over half of the population is Democrats. Yeah, I kind of, I'm kind of finding that a little hard to believe. We'll have to look into that more, maybe, or something. Pam J says, I watched the fireworks on the news in Esparto, California the other day. That's enough. Well, if you want to, Terry Taylor's here. Hey, Terry, good to see you. Happy No King's Day. I might, if I have the opportunity tonight, I might go live for the fire. Well, no, it's not in the more thing. No King's Day. Yeah, happy No King's Day, everyone. That's fair, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to view my channel real quick. I just want to make sure I say the right address. I've got I'm not sure what they'll have. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm buffering. Dash says, just don't slide the cart into your van. I don't have a van. And why would I do that? I just wanted to borrow the vacuum cleaner for 2 minutes. That's all. Nick Rich, the vacuum cleaner lady, would appreciate your consideration and respect. David Windler's here. Hey, David says, for the next July 4th, get dynamite replugs. Don't seem to understand. Sandy Fold says Trump had cut food stamps in Wisconsin. Trump is cutting food stamps all over the country through this new bill. Terry Taylor, damn right, TJ. See, I'm 20, 30 minutes behind. I'm not sure what your new face. We are trying to get to 6 million subscribers, by the way. Why can't Trucker John? The Soulcraft says, every time I use male vocal on Suno, it's not working. The female one I had made sounds like Paramore. That's interesting. Hey, Tim Farrell's here. Good to see Tim Farrell. Says, Jesse is great at Vicky. I'm going to see him in a couple months. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Sandy Folch, you can buy a cheap electric broom. I don't want a broom. I want something to do electric brooms vacuum rugs and carpets and things of this nature. Yeah, that's not the point. I could have bought a vacuum cleaner 2 years ago, or a year ago, or 9 months ago, and I just haven't because, like I said, I own a perfectly good one in storage. Nick Rich, glitchy at 1 p.m. Oh, I'm only 5 minutes behind. I've been scrolling. I've been skipping a lot of your stuff, guys. Sorry about the buffering. Sunny Folks, when you go see your daughter at her wedding, get your vacuum. Well, they're in completely different places. They're not even close, the two places, so or more. But I was thinking about trying to swing that way. But if I don't fly, because I was thinking I might fly down, because you can get cheap flights. Because if not, I got to sit here on pins and needles all weekend, you know. But hopefully, still looks like my screen is frozen on my iPad. Steven Sayers says, "Oh darn, buffering." I've seen some freezing. If by buffering we mean frozen images, I've been getting that on my iPad as I watch the show on my iPad. Mr. Bob Newell, fix your connection. There's nothing I can do, Mr. Bob Newell. There's nothing I can do. Jane Greco says, I got to go, everybody. Have as good a day as you can. Love to you all. You are so helpful for my sanity. Thank you, Marie. You might be gone already, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you for coming in and hanging out for a bit. I hope you have a great day. Like you say, you know, let's make the best of it. And who knows? This might be our last one. This might be our last 4th of July, and it's really 4th of July because, you know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how things are in a year from now. Is it going to be like post-apocalyptic? Is it going to be dystopian? Are we going to be in a city of ruins, a country of ruins? Are we going to be about the same? Yeah, we got a good hour of it. So be thankful for the good times, folks. We had a good hour. Mr. Bob will jiggle the connections. All right, here we go. I'm jiggling. I don't know if that's going to do anything. There, I jiggled. Just for you, Mr. Bob Newell. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Don Nielsen says it's buffering bad. MJ Daniel cutting more than just snap. And people, I know they're cutting more than just snap. But someone earlier had mentioned, I think it was Sandy, that they cut, I guess, was it food stamps in Wisconsin? And that's why I said that they're cutting SNAP, you know, through all 50 states. But I didn't say that was the only thing they're cutting. No, unusual parts of Medicare were slashed. We were talking about Medicare. We're talking about losing Medicare. That's been one of the main themes of the show today. Pam J, I don't really care about the buffering. I guess you guys aren't buffering. I think a lot of it's buffering, Pam. There's been for everyone, unfortunately. Former glory that we had in the first hour. But I'm going to trudge along, okay, for another 20 minutes or so. Pam J says, don't just give up, John. The buffering only lasts 10 to 15 seconds most of the time. But we do lose a lot of people because we had, I don't know, 40 or 50 people in here watching, and then it starts buffering, and then all of a sudden I see the numbers drop, and then it's kind of funny. Then when the signal gets better, then people come back in. It's kind of weird. Soulcraft says, I watched a good thing on why fast food places aren't as good anymore. At first I thought it was just a nostalgia factor, but it shows how increased competition had them change ingredients and methods. All that corporate owned bullshit with all their fucking bean counters, they ruin good fucking places. It's like, how can we cut back here? And how can we cut back here? Counters that I hate. They will ruin companies and products and quality all the time to save a fucking quarter of a penny. There should be a special place in hell for those motherfuckers too. Ruben Michaels, fly standby. It's cheaper, best on weekdays. Good tip there. Pam J says, just keep reading and conversing. We'll be here when it refreshes. It's all good. Non-useful 2 says, a year of not vacuuming a carpet can lead to a significant increase in dust mite populations. A female dust mite can lay 25 to 50 eggs every 3 weeks. See, that's why I probably should have just taken the damn thing. I think I'm gonna try and get my vacuum cleaner. If I don't get my vacuum cleaner this month, I'm just gonna go buy a new one. Soulcraft says, I like the ones they make in Mexican restaurants, like caramel cream, etc. Are you talking about those fruit pop things? I don't like those fruit pops. David Dog, I have 6 cats. I could not survive without a vacuum. Yeah, I don't have any cats. Mr. Bob Newell, Barry Weiss bought your locker for $180. Barry Weiss, I know that guy. I think if that's the one you're thinking about, or that's the one I'm thinking about, because I remember, all those storage wars. That guy owned or managed a big carpet selling company in the Antelope Valley, in Palmdale and Lancaster there, and I bought carpet from that guy. I used to buy a few times. I bought you don't have to buy the whole roll. You just buy a what do they call it? They have a name for it. Anyhow, it was usually like leftover carpet from jobs, and they would have maybe they have like a 10 by 12 section or a 12 by 12 section or whatever. And I bought a few of those from that guy because I used to lay carpet. So I could lay my own carpet, especially if there's no seams involved. If it's just a straight drop, a straight drop, and I just needed to do a room, or like I did my own. We built in my house in Lancaster. We added on a nice sunroom, and I went ahead and did a straight drop. It was just a straight drop. I carpeted it myself, so I saved the money of all that installation, and I bought some padding. At that time I had all my carpet tools still. I think a lot of them I don't know. I think I'm missing or whatever now over the years, but I bought carpet from that guy. Is the point. Mr. Robinelli says it is easier to get $1 from 300 million people than 300 million from a billionaire. Yeah, but the sad part of it is that they're not just taking $1 from us. This tax cut bill or whatever, this big bullshit bill is going to raise our taxes for middle income people and low income people by thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and we're going to lose benefits, like healthcare and things. So if it was just $1, hey, I'd be happy. Brooklyn, did the show start yet? Is that a joke? Are you being funny? Brooklyn, are you being funny right now? The Soul Crab Burger King is unedible, or is it inedible? Pizza Hut, when you could go in and eat, get a pitcher of beer with real silverware and plates. Mr. Bob Newell, you got my dinette set in your locker. No. Nick Rich, DEI, deport Elon immediately. Caleb Guillory says Musk will leave on his own to get out of American jurisdiction. Mr. Bob Newell, remnants, right? That's what it is, remnants. 70 says in peace. Yeah, remnants was the word I was looking for. Vicky, remnants. Everyone knows it. Caleb Guillory, remnant. Yeah. Nick Rich, carpet tiles are durable. I laid some carpet tiles, not in my own home, not my own homes, but as a carpet installer, we did some carpet tiles. They were pretty cool. I'm just trying to remember. You just would, of course, clean the surface out pretty good. You have a little trowel type of thing, and you just can spread. Even though, some of the carpet tiles were peel and sticks. I think we did that just a couple times. It was almost always either if we did commercial properties, it would be a commercial rug, which is a real low pile but durable, type of rug. And some of those were glue downs, no padding, like a glue down. And then, of course, for homes and stuff, it would be your more traditional carpet with depending on how much upgrade they got on the pad, it could be a 1/4 inch pad, a 1/2 inch pad, 3/4 inch pad. Which 3/4 inch is probably a bit much. Those would be harder to kick in a little bit to get over the tack strip on the edges there. To get the carpet over it. But yeah, we did everything. We did glue downs, we did regular installs, install carpet with padding and all that stuff. We really didn't do tile. We did linoleum, but we didn't do like tile per se. Although, I'm trying to think, we might have had some guys that were like really experienced that might have done some actual tile work, but that was sort of those are like separate jobs that those guys would go on. I'm trying to think, but we did do linoleum, which is pretty cool. Those are glue downs, and you would roll them out, and then we had the heavy roller to go over it to work out all the air bubbles. And then if there was air bubbles, you just like kind of poke a hole in it, and then just push the air out of it, and then roll it with the big roller. Mr. Baldnewell, you ever drop a shag? Oh yeah, absolutely. Caleb Guillory says this bill is going to cost me $40,000 a year, so it's not just $1. If it was just $1, then I don't know if we would be feeling so bad about it. Although we're still losing services. Dim Doug, I hate carpet. My house has all hardwood floors, just one rug, and it's a giant cowhide. I like mixing and matching. I like mixing tile and wood and carpet. There are ways that you can mix it that it looks very nice, and have I'm not just a person where just one thing, where everything's just one thing. I like variety, and I like certain things for certain places or whatever. Woke Mike, too much sand around here for carpet. Well, that's why you need a vacuum cleaner. Mr. Bob Newell, which is best, tile or wood or carpet? Like I said, I like all of the above. 72 says, our house is tile and hardwood flooring. I never knew how much I hated carpet until we moved here. I kind of like what I do. I bought this really nice rug. And so I think it's really nice to have a hardwood floor, but then it's also nice to have a nice rug. Peter Chancel says, I put new shag carpet in my van down by the river. Soulcraft, I wonder if Johnny Million is doodling today. I hadn't heard one way or the other on that. AM, carpet hides dirt. Well, just fucking vacuum it and get a carpet cleaner every now and then. Caleb Guillory says, when my health care gets cut, and it will, I'm going to die in 2 years. I make $16,000 a year, and my meds that keep me alive are $3,400 a month. Wow. Caleb, that is so awful. And I don't know when all these cuts are going to affect, because some of them were down the road, right? Like 2 or 3 years down the road. All I can maybe hope for is that we get back the House and Senate in 2026, or at least the House, or reverse some of this stuff, or delay some of this stuff until we get a Democratic president, and or whatever. I mean, or get more numbers up. Let's keep hope alive. And I don't mean to be like hope that is unrealistic, but we do have a chance to take back Congress in 2026 for the midterm congressional elections, and some of these cuts aren't going into effect yet. So there might still be hope, Caleb. There might still be hope. Mike H is here. Hey, Mike H, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with us for a bit. Nick Rich, carpet tiles can allow for some wild designs, cool colors. Yeah, you can do all kinds of things there. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, good to see you. Says, hey, everybody. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you. Let's make the best of it on this No King's Day. We're not going to allow our country to be taken over by fascists and dictators, and so let's go out hard, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Caleb, 16,000 a year. Yeah, I saw that. And then that's why this is why this is so egregious. And they are taking away programs and raising taxes for people who desperately need every single penny that they have just to survive. That's how callous this is. That's how despicable this bill is, and these Republicans are. That they would do everything they can to make sure that billionaires don't have to pay taxes. It's disgusting. It is truly disgusting what's going on in our country. And I believe that more and more people are going to see it. I know most of us in this chat, we know about these things, but I think that hopefully more and more people, that's the find out stage. Unfortunately, it took this. It's going to take a lot of people getting hurt and dying, which is horrible, in order to wake people up to what these motherfucking Republicans are doing. Ruben Michaels, you can buy a good vacuum cleaner. I know. I priced them. I know. I mean, so it would be worth it. It would be better to just pluck down $50 to $80. I could buy a brand new one at Target, a nice one for $80. That's cheaper than me like going all the way to California to reroute my trip. But there are other things in that storage that I would try to pick up also, that I could use and that I need. But anyhow, one thing at a time. Right now, I'm just trying to get into another apartment. It's time to be 2. I have a throw rug in the living room that can be thrown in the washer. The Soulcraft says I make between 12 and 16,000, but even that is 2 jobs to get full-time hours. It sucks, no benefits at all. I know, and then these fucking rich motherfuckers, you know, when we say that minimum wage should be raised to even $15 an hour or $20 an hour, I think it should be $30 an hour is what I think it should be, or $35 an hour at this point. They act like, my God, you're asking the world here, you know? These billionaires, it would be nice if somehow we could do kind of like a trading places type of thing. We're just make them get out of their mansions and out of their big fancy houses and make them live like a year on $16,000. You know? It'd be nice if we could do that. Caleb Guillory says the same meds are $200 a month in the UK. So Caleb is spending $3,400, and you can get the same meds in the UK for $200. Woke Mike, 3:22 p.m. in Pensacola, Florida. So I believe I'm about 5 minutes behind. Caleb Guillory, what midterms? Well, I'm going to keep the faith that we're going to have midterms in 2026. Peter Sean Sale, a bad joke coming soon. The bad joke. The best thing about carpet is licking it. I told you it was bad. Yeah, that was bad. Pam J says, John, I've been tossed out of this chat twice today, just for your information. Got a oops message and had to prove I'm not a robot. Wow. I have no idea with Pam J. I have no idea why that's happening. An oops message? I don't know what that's about, but thanks for letting me know, because I would never know otherwise. I've never heard of that. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me, so I don't know. Hey, Vicky's here. Hey, Vicky, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. Damon's Dog says it's now legal for Trump to postpone or cancel elections. Big bullshit bill. I've heard some people mention that. I haven't really, read that or gotten into that yet. So until I'm going to have to do some more research on that. But that is something that should be researched. I should make a note. All I have is this Sharpie with me. I'm going to I have a napkin, and I'm going to make a note. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm going to say I want to research if Trump can cancel elections. There. Now, I won't forget. Maybe we'll talk about that on Monday or something. If there still is an America on Monday. I don't know. Okay, they already don't pay taxes. Right. I mean, that's the thing, too. But, I mean, they have so many loopholes that they get around it. But now this will just make it where I guess they don't even have to worry about all the loopholes or something. I don't know. Caleb Guillory, the big betrayal bill. Mike H., do you think electric cars are still the shit? I do. I really like these little the Kia e-Niro. I've been driving with the Vey. It's Vey. They use those Niros. I really like those cars. If if I could lease one, there's another channel that does a lot of EV reviews, and they're in their town. They're from the Colorado area. They said that they could lease that for $100 a month. And if I could do that here, if I could lease one of those, I would do it in a heartbeat for $100 a month. Are you kidding me? It's a great little car. And I don't know if they have that lease program here. I'm trying to find out more about that. But yeah, absolutely. I love EVs. Kayla Guillory, now we are just giving them all our money. Well, again, I really, 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 really hope this wakes everybody up, and I'm hopeful that we can all vote in 2026 and just kick the ever-living shit out of these Republicans at the ballot box. Kayla, $15 an hour won't cut it. I know. That's why I'm saying it. I think it should be 30 or $35 an hour. Non-useful. In his first term, he deleted, I guess we're talking about Trump, he deleted roughly 550,000, and that being conservative. Deleted what? How many will he delete? Will be deleted in a second term? Only death at this point knows. Are you talking about, by deleted, do you mean like people died or something? I don't know what you mean by deleted, so. And I don't know what you're, I don't know. So you might want to repost that and make it more clear. Caleb Guillory, $25 an hour is needed to survive. Yeah. But the Republicans, they act like, because right now I think it's what, $7.25 or some horse shit? They act like that's too much. They're just so ridiculous. They're so horrible. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a Sharpie. David Dog, Trucker John has a Sharpie. He can change the weather now. Jen of the Base says, Pam J, I don't think it's weird. I think Trucker John had you. I didn't boot nobody. Booted because you are a Giants fan. I think we can see what's going on. No, I did not boot anyone. I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure Jolie didn't boot anybody, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever happened, that's either on Roxanne. It was Roxanne or Pam. It was Pam on Pam's end or on YouTube's end. So anyhow. Nick Rich, Vay sounds a bit vague. Vay, if you've watched my videos over the past few months, you know that there's an app, and right now I believe it's only in Las Vegas. So this is the testing ground. This is where they're starting it. But you can go on the app and you can reserve the car, and they will drive it to you remotely to your location. If you have to be within their service area, and it's on their app. And you can rent the car, and they'll drive it to you remotely. And then when you get in, you drive it yourself. And it costs 35 cents a minute. And like to get from here to where I work, it usually costs me, depending on how traffic is or whatever, it could be anywhere from $6 and change up to $8 and change, which is about, at least in many cases, almost like a third of what it would cost me to take an Uber. And they use these little Kia e-Niro cars, and I think those are awesome. If I could lease one of those for $100 a month, that would be beautiful, because it's a great little car. I love the car. The Soulcraft says, I was technically on the Angels roster, never set foot on the field though. Never came up even for a cup of coffee. I think we need to, I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, because I'm all for capitalism. I'm all for people going out and being entrepreneurs and owning businesses and making profits and doing well and creating wealth. I have no problem with that. But I'm almost to the point where we should just make it where no one can be a billionaire. Let's top it out at $999 million or whatever. Caleb Guillory says $7.25 an hour is too much for poor people to deserve, but Elon deserves $8 million a day. Is that what he makes? I don't know if he makes that much, but yeah, it's just horrible. How they've got it so twisted, The overwhelming majority of us. I mean, even if you're making 40 or 50 grand or 60 or 70 or 80 grand, I mean, that's a lot more than 16. But if you're making even 50 or 60 or 70 and you've got a family and everything, we're all just living paycheck to paycheck, It's like these billionaires don't give a fuck. Though. I mean, they don't even think about that. They don't give a fucking rat's ass about how we're just living paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't make any sense. Caleb, even infrastructure, whatever. Damon Dog, I just read the highlights. Oh, about the thing. Well, I think that deserves maybe a show. Maybe I'll do some research on it, and we can actually we can dedicate maybe not a whole show, but maybe a segment of the show to talking about that, or maybe talk about other segments of this bill. Non-useless says 87 billionaires that live in the USA are the only ones making out like a bandit. And so for these 87 motherfuckers, I thought it was 800 and something, but anyhow, we're going to screw over the other, 300 and something million people. Nick Rich says nobody needs $1 billion. I agree. Caleb Guillory, 60% of Americans live check to check while they toss billions out the window. Janelle Walker, big spoiled babies. Hey, Janelle, by the way, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Mike H, just ask her brother. I don't know. Did I skip something? I don't know. Just ask her brother. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Peter Schwansell, if I had $1 million, I'd buy me a monkey. Caleb Guillory, I don't like monkeys. Ever since I remember 20 years ago hearing these stories about chimpanzees who, were like pets who tore the faces off of their owners. So ever since then, I'm like, nope. And these were like chimps that they had raised from the little babies, and then when they grew up to be, adolescents or whatever, when an adolescent monkey, goes through maybe some of that teenage angst or whatever, they tear the faces off their owners. So I'm like, nope, no. Maybe a little spider monkey or whatever, maybe like some little tiny monkey, but I'm not getting any chimpanzee that's going to rip my face off. So no, thank you. Caleb Guillory, what do we do? What do we do when children get arrogant and selfish? We separate them from their toys till they learn humility. Damon Dog says Section 70302 was removed by the Senate. I didn't know that, but apparently they didn't give him the power anyway. That makes me feel better. Oh, that's a relief. And I think we should dig more into this bill. Maybe I will still do some research on it. We can on future shows. We can dig a little more into it going forward. Yeah, Caleb says chimps going to be vicious. Vicky, I heard the bill is set not to take effect until after the midterms. Yeah, they had a bunch of different times, and a lot of them were, I think, after. So that's why I'm saying there is some hope that we might be able to maybe I don't know if we can reverse some of this stuff or put delays into it if we get the Congress back. I don't know. I really don't know, but. The Soulcraft says that someone would even want to live as a trillionaire while billions go without food, basic medicine, etc. is pretty twisted and sociopathic. Really, and I agree. And I think most of these billionaires are sociopaths, or they become sociopathic in some way. I know it's kind of weird. A psychologist might say you can't just become a sociopath. You're like born that way or whatever. I don't know, but I think money like that, it does change you, or it can bring out the worst in you. Because I think Elon Musk, I used to like Elon Musk. I thought he was a pretty decent guy, 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. But now I wouldn't fucking piss on him if he was on fire, Jolie says, Caleb Guillory, Mike H. is MAGA, more affectionately known as Joel, here on Trucker John Show as Joel the Troll. That's right. That's right. I haven't called him because Mike H. has been not showing up as much as lately. But yeah, I was calling him Joel the Troll because I believe his remember the ats that we had the other day? Is something about Joel. I think his real name is Joel. Peter Sonsell, if we had $1 million, we wouldn't have to eat Kraft dinner, but we would and eat it with Dijon mustard. If I had $1 million, I would not be eating Kraft dinners, okay? Look, I think I could live very, very nicely on $1 million. To the point where I could eat better than Kraft dinners. The Soulcraft HBO chimp crazy. I never saw that. I never saw that, but I remember seeing news clips where there was a whole rash of them, probably 10 or 15 years ago, of these chimps, acting out, and I think they may have even killed some people, but some of them, they survived, and they literally had their faces ripped off. I think one was a lady in Palm Springs or Palm Desert area. And then there was another couple somewhere, I think in California, where they had put the chimp into this, as it got bigger and it was getting harder for them to take care of it. I think they put it in this reserve type of thing, that would take chimps that are animals, and they would go visit it because they still cared for the chimp. I think they had it since it was a baby, and they would go have. So I guess this chimp had been in there for a couple of years or something at this facility, which is basically kind of like a zoo, like when I saw the pictures of it. But it's like a big chain link cage fenced area. It had it in there. And they would go and visit it for its birthdays and actually bring like a birthday cake. And for one of these birthdays, the chimp went fucking ape shit on them and ripped their fucking faces off. And I think they may have lived, or maybe they died later or something. I don't know, but it was pretty fucking horrible. Soulcraft, kind of like Tiger King, Caleb Guillory must stole Tesla from its founders. I don't think he stole it. I mean, okay, look. He became he went in, he bought his way in. I don't think he did anything illegal. He became a board member, an executive board member. He bought shares. I think he was able to do a takeover, which happens all the time. And here I am defending Elon Musk. Thank you very much. I don't think he stole it. If he stole it, he would have, they would have got it back probably or something. I think he did it in whatever it was a very legal process where he was able to take over the company and become the CEO. But why do I even bother? Why do I bother defending Elon Musk? I always get pulled into this trap because I have no respect for Elon Musk. I think he's a douchebag. He's a Nazi, and I only hope the worst for him. But I don't think he stole Tesla. Peter Saucelle is doing lyrics from Bare Naked Ladies. I'm not going to repeat it. Just that, not that I don't like it, but I just don't feel like singing or whatever. I don't know. The Soul Graph says, yes, exactly. One did tear the face off basically on film. I didn't see the film. I remember reading articles or seeing news clips. Barbara Nicholas is here. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on in. We are at over 2 hours, so I'm probably going to end the show here pretty soon, just so that we don't have the phone die. Nick Rich 445. So, we don't want that to happen. Hey, Nick, I don't know if are you still there, Nick? I don't know. You might be gone. Just wanted to say hi to Nick real quick. He's my #1 fan, old Nick Rich there. So had to come in real quick, say happy 4th of July to you, Nick, even though you're in Canada. But still, what can I say? Happy 4th from down here in the lower 48. I hope all is going well for you up there. And so anyhow, guys, but for everybody else who celebrates and who's in the country here of America, happy 4th of July. If you didn't notice, I am very patriotic. I am one patriotic cookie. If you just look at my eyebrows are blue, my eyes are white, and my lips are red. I'm red, white, and blue through and through. That's right. So if you don't like it, well, tough cookie? I don't know. Happy 4th, guys. No kings. Just remember that. No kings. We don't like kings. Fuck the kings. Except for the Golden Knights. Those aren't kings. Okay, well, you know what I mean. The LA Kings. Fuck those guys. But no kings allowed here. We're not going to stand for it. And I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be our 250th. Although I will be, not to say I'm not going to pop in between now and a year from now. I'm rambling. I'm a rambling kind of guy. I'm rambling kind of guy. But red, white, and blue all the way through. That's right. So anyway, happy 4th, everybody. Try your best. Try your best. We've withstood some pretty tough times. We withstood a civil war, right? We made it through World War II. We made it through 9/11. We made it through COVID. God willing, we'll make it through this. We'll make it through Trump 2, and his awful big bullshit bill thingy. We'll make it. We got to, because you know why? We're Americans, and this is what we do. We do this shit. We handle this shit. All right, we're gonna handle it like we do, like Americans do. All right, so don't let the Trumps of the world get you down. We will survive. We will survive. All right? I second that wholeheartedly, Tough Cookie. I agree 100%. We will make it. Even if we got to get a little bit purple, if you know what I mean. No, we will make it. So hang in there. Hang tough. Hang tough. Be resilient. Be resilient, and let's go. I was gonna say let's fucking go, and then I thought should I drop an F-bomb or not? And then I just kind of did. So whatever. Whatever. But yeah, hey, red, white, and blue and purple, all the way, man. Have a great 4th. Enjoy your fireworks. Enjoy your time with your families today. If nothing else, if you can, get together with your family and your friends, have some barbecue, watch some fireworks, and just enjoy your time together as best you can. And then let's just get to work afterwards here and get at it. Just get after it. Got to get after it. All right? This democracy isn't going to save itself. We got to get out there and hit the streets, call our senators and our representatives, let them know that we're not going to take it. We're just not going to do it. It's just not in our DNA to just take this shit. Oops, I said another word, but hey, it happens. It happens, right? All right, guys. So happy 4th to you. All right. Hey, thanks, and thank you guys. Thank you all, guys. Thank you guys. Sometimes things are a little slow here. There we go. Thank you guys so much, everyone, for being here. Everyone who watched, everyone who put a thumbs up on there. For all of our, we made the goal today, 5 out of 5 on our super chats. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thanks for everybody who contributed in the chat with your comments and your participation. I do appreciate it. That is the show, is you guys. You guys make the show. It's nothing without me. So thank you guys all. Just thank you guys so very much. And there it is. Thank you very much. And also make sure you guys subscribe. We are on our road to 6 million subscribers. Let's get her done. And hopefully at 4,000 we'll get there, and I'll eat that damn dandelion. I will eat that bitch like a motherfucker. Why am I getting all blue all of a sudden? I don't know. But anyhow, again, just another one of those. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank you guys enough for being here and for all you guys do. All right, guys. So that's about it for the show. Thank you for being here. But just before we end the show, though, and I'll be on tomorrow, right after Hal. We'll do another show after Hal on Saturday, about around 11 a.m. or whenever Hal gets done or whatever. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we can see how we did, if we survived 4th of July. And in the meantime, I do have a special 4th of July words of wisdom for today, since it's 4th of July. You don't want to miss this. Get your paper and pad ready, and here we go. Okay, so for 4th of July, words of wisdom, here we go.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire. Shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free.